Yes people, and welcome back to AJCars. Now what we're doing today is I'm going to be telling you 10 things wrong with this car that you need to look out for before you buy one. So let's get straight into it. Apologies for the wind, it might be a bit windy. I do apologise if it fucks up the audio, but I can't help it. So first things first, engine management light. You might get an engine management light on every so often. It could be a number of things. I've had it before, I just reset it. I've got a machine at work that does it, so all you need to do is reset it. Take it to any garage, they'll reset it. It could be multiple things. If you really want to sort it, chances are it's probably going to be a lambda sensor for the exhaust, or maybe a thermostat or something. They're really finicky little things that aren't really relevant. So if your check engine management light comes on, don't panic, don't think your car's going to blow up, because it isn't. It's just going to be something small and irrelevant that you can just get sorted straight away. But the next thing is rust. Now these cars rust a lot. Now there's a few certain places where you will get rust, and obviously when you buy one, check them places because some things will have to be replaced or whatsoever. So check these places. First things first is the wings. Now the wings are notorious for rusting because in this little area here there's a little foam behind the wheel liner and they get water filled with them, but obviously it's like their job is. They fill with water, then they end up just seeping through and end up rusting your entire wing all around the arch there. So when you buy one, check both the wings. If they're rusted, they're cheap anyway, you can probably get a wing for 50 quid, but just check the wings. Second is the sills. Now at the back of the sill there, running all the way forward, if you've got sill covers on like I have, like they come with the 25th anniversary ones, you probably will be okay if they're on properly. But if they've got a little gap in the top here, water will sit inside there and it'll rust the metal underneath it. So if you haven't got side skirts, that'll be one place to check. But if you have, check if there's any gaps in the top there, if it's been put on properly, because if there is, chances are water's getting in there and it will get rusted. So if you do have that, just bond it back on properly or clear it out, take it off, do it correctly, make sure there's nothing wrong with it. That is number 2. Thirdly, check the fucking sticker. Yeah, broke stance. Yeah, boy. Right, ignore that, I'm being a cock. Right here, tailgate handle. They usually build rust all around the edge. Excuse how dirty my car is, oh my god. Anyway, right here, all inside here, you might get rust. Just check it. Check the handle works as well. That's one of the problems. I'll get to that in a bit, but yeah, rust around the tailgate. Finally, roof rails. Obviously, things like that in these areas, if these don't have them, water can just sit in there and build up, or even sit behind them. They will build up. Any little nooks and crannies like that, water will build up and you could have a problem with rust, like I do right here. What it's done, it's just water's built up inside there and it's just eaten away at this over a long period of time, because this is a very old car. I mean, it's almost 20 years old now, so check for little places like that. But if you haven't got any rust anywhere in the places that I mentioned, you should be okay, because I highly doubt you're going to get it anywhere else. Thirdly is the door drops. Now the doors may drop slightly just purely because of the weight of them. They're such heavy doors. 3 doors are worse than 5 doors, but I have a 3 door. I'll show you now. The doors drop slightly, one's worse than the other. I'm gonna have to adjust it. So if you do, simple adjustment, you can fix it straight away. So opening the door is perfectly fine. Open sounds nice. But if you actually watch the top when I open that slowly, see how it's dropping down? It's almost catching. The other side is actually worse. Sometimes this door doesn't even open properly. See how it drops? And that can get caught on the catch there. So all you need to do, there's 2 little splines here. Just have a wiggle, play with that, lift it up, drop it down. If not, same splines here. That'll lift. There's quite a lot of adjustment. That's what these lines are for here, but that will adjust. And if it really does annoy you, just adjust them. The fourth is the central locking. Now, every fucker and his dog who owns a Mark 4 has a problem with the central locking. I don't know what it is. It might just be the age, or just they're just shit central locking, but one of the locks is probably going to fail. On mine, it was the passenger. The tailgate was fine, drivers was fine, but the passenger didn't work. So when you open and close your car, the two will work, but the passenger won't open, and it will stay unlocked, but you cannot open it. Sometimes it does work. You can get it open, but you cannot lock the car. It just doesn't want to work. So I recommend checking all of them, and if they don't work, it's a simple fix. You just take the door card off, blah blah blah. If you don't know how to do it, YouTube will tell you. There'll be videos out there, or we can do a video on it, but they're very simple to change. Just buy one. They're about 25 quid, but central locking is going to be a problem, so check all your locks before you buy the car. And the fifth one is your oil. Now, these do go through a bit of oil, so you'll have to probably change it every, I don't know, 2 months or so. Let me just check mine. Yeah, so if you look there, in between the middle and the max, that is fine. However, I'd recommend changing it whenever you can. Oh god. Because like I said, they go through a bit of oil every 2 months or so. Just check it. If it needs filling, just fill it. It's pennies really to get an oil change. Just get it done. And number 6 is the airbag light. Now, some cars I have heard do get an airbag light, and every so often. Me, I have got an airbag light that is permanently on, which pisses me off every time I start my car, because it just beeps its tits off, and it's just annoying as fuck. But that's only because the seats in my car are actually out of an Audi, so I think the airbag in one of the seats is, I don't know what's wrong with it. I think there's a loose wire or something. I've had the seats out, I've changed the wire. I don't know what it is, but I'm gonna have to get it checked. But if you have got any notice on the dash, such as an airbag, make sure you can tell what it is, because if it's like a front airbag, then it could probably be reset because it probably hasn't gone off or whatever. Just get it reset. But things in like a seat, like in mine, I'll have to change the seats. So just make sure there's no airbag lights on there, because it will eventually start to piss you off like it pisses me off. That shit wouldn't piss you off every day. That shit wouldn't piss you off every day. Wait for the wind. There we go. Right, back to the sills now. This is nothing to do with the exterior on the sills. This is purely underneath, and it's where the jacking points are. Now, Mark 4s, clearly no one knows where to fucking jack up a Mark 4. They've got sill points, so I don't understand why, but they're always crumpled. Usually every car will have a certain section on the sill where you can jack it up. It's the strongest point. Every car will have them. However, on the Mark 4s, no one seems to know where the fuck they are, and they ruin the sills. So check underneath, because if you jack your car up, you need new tyres, whatever, and there's a jacking point, it isn't there, they're going to jack off something else, and you might go through your floor. So check your sill points, because if they jack you up in the wrong place, if you can, fold them back over, hope they don't break, because you need to put your jack in the right place, otherwise you'll go straight through your floor, and then you'll be into big money. So just check your jacking covers. So we are in the car now, because it was extremely windy and it was just ruining the audio, so we're in the car. But next on the list is your suspension. Now, I know it's hard to check your suspension when you're buying a car. However, if you get the chance to check it, or it's on a ramp, or you can get it on a ramp or someone offers, get it on the ramp and check all your suspension, because on mine, I was hoping it was going to be straight. It wasn't. Everything was seized. 2 bottom arms, track rod ends, my coilovers, they were all seized just because of its age. So if you can, get it on a ramp, check it. I know it's hard, but it's just one thing to look out for. Also, if you're going to have like a modified car, or a car that you're going to have for a very long time, I suggest poly bushing, because it will last a lot longer. None of your bungs or your bushes, they'll perish over time, and because it's such an old car, chances are they will. So if you get it poly bushed, it's basically just renewing everything. It's going to last a lot longer. You'll have the car for a lot longer. It won't break and nothing will go wrong. So get it poly bushed as well. So the ninth thing is the handbrake. Now, I know that's such an irrelevant little thing to look for when you're buying a car, but it's the little things like that that you need to look at when you're buying a car. Now, when I bought mine, the handbrake was literally useless. It did close to fuck all. You could lift the handbrake all the way to the top and drive quite normally it just wasn't connected properly. So it's a simple adjustment. All you need to do, I think it's the back of the armrest. I think you got to pop that out and there's an adjustment. I think it's like a 10mm or a 13mm, or just take it to a garage and they'll sort it for you. But the handbrake is essential. I learned that because now I have to leave it in gear everywhere because my handbrake is fixed, but it's still not fixed. So the 10th and the final thing to look out for on the Golfs are the lights. Now, check all your lights work. So same as any car, you check all the lights, front and rear. Front worked, rear worked, except my reverse light didn't work. So we had to get that sorted. Found out it was unplugged on the gear mount. So get it checked. I know it's going to be difficult, but obviously it's very easy to check your lights. So just check all your lights work. If it's anything like a reverse light or a bulb, it's a very simple fix. Anyone knows how to fix a bulb, just take it out and replace it. But check they all work, because if you're like me and I didn't check like a clown, and I had the problem with my reverse light and found out that it was unplugged and the wire was cut, I had to get that repaired. So just make sure all your lights work, because eventually you're going to be, if all these things add up, everything I've listed here is wrong with the car, then you're going to be into quite a lot of money. You'll be spending hundreds towards the thousands just to get it all repaired. So consider all of it on top of the price of the car and then make your decision. But they are the 10 things to look out for on a Mark 4 Golf. Some of them irrelevant, small, finicky little things, but some of them can cause problems like suspension or rusting or anything. So just check the car properly when you buy the car. But that will be it today, guys. I hope you did enjoy the video. Stay tuned for more videos like this, and we'll see you guys soon.